tonight, the world just took a big step towards compensating countries hit by deadly floods, heat, and droughts. Nearly all the world's nations on Thursday finalized the creation of a fund to help compensate countries struggling to cope with loss and damage caused by climate change, seen as a major first-day breakthrough at this year's UN climate conference. Some countries started putting in money right away, if little compared to the overall anticipated needs. Sultan Al Jaber, the president of the COP28 climate conference in Dubai, hailed the first decision to be adopted on day one of any COP, and his country, the United Arab Emirates, would chip in $100 million to the fund. Other countries stepped up with big-ticket commitments, including Germany, also at $100 million. Developing nations had long sought to address the problem of inadequate funding for responding to climate disasters caused by climate change, which hit them especially hard, and for which they have little responsibility. Industrialized countries have spewed out carbon emissions that are trapping heat in the atmosphere. But many details of the loss and damage funds were left unresolved, such as how large it would be and who would administer it, and more. A recent report by the United Nations estimates that up to $387 billion would be needed annually if developing countries are to adapt to climate-driven changes. Some activists and experts are skeptical that the fund would raise anything close to that amount. A green climate fund that was first proposed at the 2009 climate talks in Copenhagen and began raising money in 2014 hasn't come close to its goal of $100 billion annually. Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley, speaking at her country's independence celebrations in Bridgetown Thursday, called it a start.
That the world's nations have finally not only settled on the loss and damage fund, but the capitalization of it has started this morning in earnest. And we thank the people of Barbados for playing the role that we have played in ensuring that this most essential item of justice can help level the playing field for those of us who have become victims of the climate crisis. Will we today or next week see the capitalization where we want it? No, but it is the beginning. And as we have learned, step by step, we can ensure that justice is delivered.
The fund would be hosted by the World Bank for the next 4 years, and the plan is to launch it by 2024. A developing country representative will get a seat on its board. Grenadian Simon Steele, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, has reminded a global climate change conference of the urgency to deal with the climate emergency. He was speaking at the opening of COP conference on Thursday.
We are taking baby steps, stepping far too slowly from an unstable world that lacks resilience to working out the best responses to the complex impacts that we are facing. We must teach climate action to run, because this has been the hottest year ever in humanity. So many terrible records were broken, and we are paying the price with people's lives and livelihoods.
Steele spoke about the urgency of now.
If we do not signal the terminal decline of the fossil fuel era as we know it, we welcome our own terminal decline. And we choose to pay with people's lives.
He told delegates in attendance that their nations must keep the promises they made on the issue.
In 2024, countries will submit their first biennial transparency report. This will mean the reality of individual progress can't be concealed. We will also see at COP29 how to finance this massive shift with the new finance goal. And let this be your first official notice that early in 2025, countries must deliver new nationally determined contributions. Please start working on them now.
Guyana's President, Dr. Irfan Ali, has made a whirlwind visit to the COP meeting in the United Arab Emirates, only to return home on Saturday to be in his country on a pivotal weekend. Venezuela is voting in a referendum Sunday on whether effectively to approve the annexation of 2/3 of Guyanese territory. President Ali's office said on Thursday he held bilateral discussions with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, and discussed enhanced cooperation in various fields. An official version said the meeting discussed the importance of the Conference of States Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP28, in finding solutions to achieve sustainability and advance global climate action. President Ali met on the sidelines of the meeting with UK King Charles, as well as members of Britain's delegations, including new Foreign Minister David Cameron. They reportedly also briefly spoke about the Essequibo border issue. 2 world leaders were given the Order of Freedom of Barbados, one of that nation's top honors. They were named among an honors list Thursday as the republic celebrated its 57th anniversary of independence. President of Guyana, Irfan Ali, and Rwanda's President, Paul Kagame, were recognized. Kagame was recognized for his efforts to promote economic diplomacy through the Pan-African network between Africa and the Caribbean. Ali, it was said, was in strong recognition of his strong commitment to enhance cooperation and collaboration, to achieve regional integration, and to foster deeper social and economic partnerships, particularly in relation to food and nutrition, and for the upliftment of the people of Barbados and the region. As you have been hearing, Barbados on Thursday observed its 57th anniversary of independence with the traditional military parade. Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley delivered the feature address at the event.
And the journey of execution is not an overnight journey, but over the next 7 years, we will show ourselves and the world that we know what it is to preserve our blue and green, not just our blue, yellow, and black. That we know what it is to ensure that cleanliness is next to godliness, and that we can return to the old practices of taking care in front of us, because many hands do make light work.
This is Primetime Caribbean.